Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Parasphere. Yes, they are here, and they've always been Sphere.
Recently, another metallic sphere is the center of acclaim by whistleblower and Green Beret Randy Anderson of the US Navy, who claims to have seen a metallic sphere UAP at a Navy facility called Camp Crane. Within Camp Crane is located a classified underground facility housing captured technologies from around the globe. I will let Randy Anderson tell us what happened in his own words.
We went to another part of the facility, went to another building. In that building, we went into an elevator. We took an elevator down, which that was the first odd thing, is that it felt like we went down. So you would think you would. I mean, it was just awkward. It just stood out.
You went way underground.
I don't know if it was way, but it was further down than like a few floors. You know, so I don't know how far. I don't know how fast the elevator was going. I didn't know I needed to pay attention to it at the time. But I'm observing. You know, I'm kind of it's starting to feel different. You know, we get under there. Door opens. We go through a security type checkpoint. I remember the first thing that stood out to me was that it was significantly more modern than everything up top. Yep. And that was odd. The lighting and everything seemed more modern, just seemed more upkept.
Yeah, kind of state of the art.
We moved through a security checkpoint, and then we started looking at some foreign weapons stuff, and they were telling us about some Russian and Chinese weapon systems that were captured. I don't want to go too into the details on this stuff. It's still within too kind of close proximity to that.
Sure.
That I don't want to go too far. After that, we moved on down another hallway and got into an area that had a marking on the wall and said off-world technology.
It said off-world technology.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And so immediately my bells go off. So yeah, we go into the room, and the one room, these significantly higher level of technology, like the lighting even looked, you know, everything was just, it was more, it was just a different vibe, man. You know.
Yeah.
The first object was a metallic basketball-sized sphere, and it was above a podium, and it looked like it was just levitating above the podium.
Levitating above the podium. So there was space between the sphere and the podium itself.
Correct. And I remember at one point, like, trying to angle myself, like, what? How is that?
Do you think it could have been some sort of magnetic levitation? Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
But it's just levitating there.
It was just levitating.
Did it look like a prosaic, like this wood table where if you were to, you know, touch it, it would act like a normal object? Did it look holographic? What did it look like? That's a good question. What stood out to me was the way the metal looked. It looked unnatural. And I talked with Gerb about this, and he kind of dug in on this. I'm like, dude, I don't know how to describe it. Yeah. All I can tell you is it didn't look natural. It didn't look like anything I could compare it to. Interesting.
There is also a very similar story told by a defense contractor. This defense contractor told his story to friend and British UAP researcher Professor Simon Holland. I shall let the professor explain.
Firstly, a very fascinating and confirmative story from a defense contractor scientist I know, who's currently in the Far East, but worked for a large US defense contractor, and tells this amazing story. It's so similar to what the Jesse Michaels interview said. It's uncanny. He was also taken in an elevator to an underground lab. He went through an initial security check into a facility with lines along the corridor, like a hospital, just as the interview in Jesse Michaels' show said. Then he also said he went through a second high security checkpoint, but he said he was warned of the use of possible deadly force if he and his colleague strayed off course. And then they went down a high-tech corridor, similar to the interview that you've just heard, into an unmarked laboratory where he saw a floating silver orb. The silver orb that he saw was in a darkened room. It wasn't on a plinth. It was way at the back of the room. And he described it as spherical, hovering, and it seemed to be emitting some kind of light as if it was floating in a puddle of luminous light or water. His contact told him, "This is our UAP. What do you think about it?" My contact said he was amazed to see it, and it sounds very similar, and was asked to approach it. When he walked towards it, he found himself back at the starting point. His colleague said, "What do you think of the UFO?" He said, "I can't go near it." He said, "That's very strange. A lot of people feel like that. It seems to react to different people in different ways."
Thank you for watching the Parasphere. We hope you enjoy our videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more historical accounts, sightings and disclosure of these Sphere UFOs from the past and present. And remember, keep your eyes to the skies and stay curious.